Imagine a secret program so sinister, it would make you question the very fabric of reality. A program where the government, in the name of national security, conducted inhumane experiments on unwitting subjects. Welcome to the world of MKUltra, the CIA's infamous mind control program. For over 2 decades, from 1953 to 1973, the CIA pushed the boundaries of human endurance, using LSD, hypnosis, and torture to create the perfect mind control agent. The results were devastating, and the truth was hidden for decades. Tonight, we're going to uncover the dark legacy of MKUltra and the men who orchestrated it. The CIA's motivation for MKUltra was rooted in the Cold War era, where the United States and the Soviet Union were engaged in a fierce battle for ideological supremacy. The CIA believed that by developing mind control techniques, they could create the perfect spy, someone who could withstand interrogation and remain loyal only to the United States. But as we'll explore, the program quickly spiraled out of control, with disastrous consequences. At the helm of MKUltra was Dr. Sidney Gottlieb, a renowned chemist and expert in psychopharmacology. Gottlieb was a brilliant scientist, but his involvement in MKUltra would forever taint his legacy. As the director of the CIA's technical services staff, Gottlieb oversaw the program, approving experiments that would push the limits of human tolerance. He was a man with a mission, driven by a zeal to unlock the secrets of the human mind. But as we will see, his ambition came at a terrible cost. Gottlieb's background in chemistry and pharmacology made him the perfect candidate to lead MKUltra. He had a deep understanding of the effects of LSD and other psychoactive substances on the human mind. But it was his willingness to experiment on unwitting subjects that would ultimately lead to the downfall of the program. One of the most disturbing aspects of MKUltra was Operation Midnight Climax, a series of experiments conducted in San Francisco. The CIA set up a network of brothels, where unsuspecting clients were dosed with LSD without their consent. The goal was to observe the effects of the drug on human behavior, but the methods were reprehensible. Through one-way mirrors, CIA agents watched as men, often in vulnerable states, were manipulated and experimented upon. The results were documented, but the true horror of these experiments can never be fully quantified. The brothels were set up in some of San Francisco's seediest neighborhoods, where the CIA could easily recruit subjects. The clients were often desperate and vulnerable, making them the perfect targets for the CIA's experiments. But as we will see, the consequences of these experiments were far-reaching and devastating. One man who fell victim to MKUltra was Frank Olson, a CIA scientist who was given LSD without his consent. Olson was a brilliant chemist, working on a top-secret project to develop a mind control agent. But after being dosed with LSD, Olson became increasingly paranoid and erratic. Just days later, he fell to his death from a hotel window, under circumstances that remain shrouded in mystery. The CIA would later admit to giving Olson LSD, but the full extent of their involvement in his death remains classified. Olson's death was a turning point for MKUltra. It marked a moment when the program's excesses could no longer be ignored. But as we will see, the CIA continued to push the boundaries of human experimentation, with devastating consequences. Another figure associated with MKUltra is Ted Kaczynski, also known as the Unabomber. Kaczynski, a Harvard-educated mathematician, was a brilliant mind who would later become infamous for his series of bombings that killed 3 people. But what is less known is that Kaczynski may have been an MKUltra subject during his time at Harvard. At just 16 years old, Kaczynski was recruited to participate in a psychological study, which some have linked to MKUltra. While the full extent of his involvement remains unclear, it's a chilling reminder of the program's reach and the potential for innocent lives to be forever altered. Kaczynski's involvement in MKUltra, if true, would explain a lot about his later behavior. His ability to withstand interrogation and remain calm under pressure were skills that could have been honed through MKUltra's experiments. But as we will see, the truth about Kaczynski's involvement may never be fully known. In 1973, CIA Director Richard Helms ordered the destruction of most MKUltra documents, citing the need to protect national security. But it was a filing error that would ultimately save 20,000 pages of documents from the shredder.